So good, so good, so good.
Just in, thousands of winter arrivals at your Nordstrom Rack store. Save up to 70% on coats, slippers, and cashmere from Kate Spade, New York, Vince, UGG, Levi's, and more.
Check out these boots.
They've got the best gifts.
My holiday shopping hack? Join the Nordy Club.
Get an extra 5% off every Rack purchase with your Nordstrom credit card. Plus, buy it online and pick it up in-store the same day for free. Big gifts, big perks. That's why you Rack.
You're about to make a trade. Which you do you listen to? Is it get optioning those options? Or let's do a little research. Learn more at finra.org/trade-smart.
This is Optimal Work Daily, Preventing Your Staff from Experiencing Burnout by Michael Levitt of breakfastleadership.com. If you're running a business, you will understand how much hard work and effort goes into keeping it up, running and generating profits. But it's important that you remember your team may feel the same way too. Burnout is a phenomenon that is on the rise, and you need to do what you can to reduce cases of burnout in your workforce. Here's some more information on the subject that should help you avoid and effectively manage burnout amongst your own employees. What is burnout? If you haven't experienced burnout yourself before, you may be wondering what it actually is. Put simply, burnout is a type of exhaustion that people will generally experience when they feel swamped by life, its demands, and its responsibilities. Burnout is usually the result of excessive and prolonged emotional, physical, and mental stress. People experiencing burnout generally report feeling overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to keep up. Why take measures against burnout? As an employer, it's important that you do your utmost to maximize your employees' health and well-being. These are the individuals building your company and driving its success. They're building your fortune on your behalf, and you need to take steps to ensure that they are as happy and healthy as you can help them to be during this time. Helping your team to avoid burnout benefits them massively on a personal level, but it helps your business too. Burned out employees are not productive, exhibit low rates of job satisfaction, can foster a negative workplace atmosphere, and can ultimately quit their role, leading to expensive recruitment and training costs on your behalf. Happy employees are much more productive and likely to stay on board for longer. Steps to preventing burnout. There are many steps you can take to prevent your team from burning out. Here are a few that you might like to try out. Know how your employees feel. Getting honest feedback from your employees can help you to see whether they're experiencing burnout and how you can help. A simple online assessment can help with this. If possible, make your assessment anonymous, as this way you're more likely to get honest and open feedback. Set SMART goals. It's important that your staff know what is expected of them and what isn't expected of them. Setting clear goals can help your team to manage their workload much more effectively. Consider setting goals at the start of each quarter, with the deadline at the end of the quarter. This can then allow your staff members to separate out projects, create manageable timelines, and hit their goals without ever having to overexert themselves or work extra last minute. When setting goals, it's important that you set SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's look more into this. Specific. Setting a specific goal makes sure that your team can focus their efforts on the right area without projects snowballing, getting out of hand, or leading them down a time-consuming and non-productive rabbit hole. When setting your goals, make sure to explain to your team member what they need to accomplish, why this goal is important, who else will be involved in the project, and what resources are required. Measurable. Being able to measure goals is important, as it allows your team members to track their progress and stay on track. If they find themselves falling off track, they can realize this sooner rather than later and put wrongs to rights. Decide what they will be judged on to determine whether the project was completed to your satisfaction or not. Achievable. Setting unrealistic and unachievable goals is not motivating. Instead, your team will find themselves overworking, pushing themselves to their limits, and ultimately burning out, all in vain. You need to make sure that your team can realistically meet the goals you're setting for them. Relevant. Goals need to be important to your team and their position. This will give them a sense of purpose and give them a reason to work productively. People working on projects that don't fall within their remit burn out easily through boredom and having to pick up new skill sets that aren't relevant to their role or career progression. Time-bound. Having an endpoint in sight is important for your team to perform well. It also ensures that they have the opportunity to arrange their work according to a future deadline rather than cramming all their work into the period directly leading up to the deadline. Consider remote work options. If your team doesn't have to work on-site or on a face-to-face basis, why not consider extending remote working options to them? This mode of working has become extremely common since the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, when many businesses and employees didn't have any choice but to work from home. During this period, many people found that they experienced less burnout when working from home due to a variety of factors. For most, cutting out the morning and evening commute conserved a lot of energy and reduced stress significantly. Adding unnecessary travel time to people's work schedule can hugely lengthen their day and use up energy unnecessarily. If possible, extend remote working options, or at least hybrid working options, to your team. This helps provide a better work-life balance and reduce fatigue. Consider flexible working patterns. The stress of maintaining personal responsibilities around work can be draining for a lot of people, especially those with commitments such as children, pets, care of elderly individuals, and more. Flexible working patterns can reduce this stress and lighten the load on their shoulders, preventing them from having to cram activities into specific hours and undergoing unnecessary trips back and forth at awkward times. As long as your team are hitting their contracted hours, and as long as their role isn't time-sensitive, it shouldn't make much difference what time they complete the work asked of them. Flexible working patterns can boost employee happiness and reduce cases of burnout significantly. Set incentives and rewards. Staff members are often much more motivated when they're working towards an incentive or goal. Work that could feel draining or dull can feel like a positive challenge with light at the end of the tunnel if you offer some sort of reward or incentive from the get-go. Hopefully, this information will help you to manage burnout in your workforce and maximize your business's productivity. You just listened to the post titled, "Preventing Your Staff from Experiencing Burnout" by Michael Levitt of breakfastleadership.com.
When it comes to what your family eats and drinks, you know your choices matter. You're the expert because you know what fits your life. And getting it right starts with good information. That's why America's beverage companies are sharing more information about our ingredients at goodtoknowfacts.org. No spin, no judgments, just the facts straight from the experts for more than 140 beverage ingredients. Visit goodtoknowfacts.org.
This episode is brought to you by Marshalls, where you never have to compromise between quality and price. The buyers at Marshalls hustle hard, working to bring you great deals on brand name and designer pieces. Because Marshalls believes everyone deserves access to the good stuff. Visit a Marshalls store near you or shop online at marshalls.com.
And thank you to Michael Levitt, who is the founder and chief burnout officer of the Breakfast Leadership Network, which is a San Diego and Toronto-based burnout media firm. He is a certified NLP and CBT therapist. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming, and CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. And he's one of the world's leading authorities in burnout recovery and prevention. He's also a Fortune 500 consultant, #1 best-selling author, and host of the Breakfast Leadership Show, which is a top 200 podcast on iTunes. He is a 2-time top 20 global thought leader on culture with Thinkers 360 and a former healthcare executive, CIO, and CFO overseeing $2 billion budgets. So again, thanks to Michael, and please do check out his website, breakfastleadership.com. But that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much for being here every day. It really makes a difference. That's how we can keep this show going for you. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back again tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.